the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
God morgon, god eftermiddag, god kväll, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Andre Palerascio.
And I'm Dominic Palerascio.
And welcome back to INCRadio Northern Europe Satellite Studio. We are broadcasting live here from the congregation of Oslo East, Norway, district of Northern Europe. And we are very happy to be back. It's been a whole month since we hosted here from Norway, but we are very, very happy to be here once again and happy to see all of you, Team Live Chat, all our viewers and listeners. So make sure to continue commenting as we will answer your comments later. But firstly, for those wondering, what day is it here? What time is it here in Norway?
Today is, of course, Sunday, 30th of March, 9 p.m. here in Oslo, Norway. Maybe you've noticed that we usually start our broadcast at 8 p.m., but not today because of daylight saving. We advanced our clock 1 hour ahead. So today we start our broadcast at 9 p.m. Central European Summer Time.
CEST,
CST.
in short. Again, daylight savings time. But don't worry, for those of you watching all the way there in the Philippines, we're still at Monday, 3 a.m. Philippine time. And for many countries here in Northern Europe, we use Central European Summer Time. Some of us use Eastern European Time, but it's also DST or daylight savings time there now. So it is, I believe, 10 p.m. Eastern European Summer Time. So we're very, very thankful that you join us for our broadcast already while it's 10 p.m. there. So thank you so much for tuning in. And we're very, very, very excited for our broadcast tonight because as many of you have noticed, many countries, I believe most countries here in our district of Northern Europe, comprising of over 14 countries and territories, the snow is melting and it is already springtime. So our topic for tonight's broadcast is about springtime here in Europe, specifically here in our district, ecclesiastical district of Northern Europe. But of course, Dominic and I won't be talking about this topic ourselves. We have you, Team Live Chat, to discuss this with us. So make sure to keep commenting specifically on our topic discussion so we can read it later and we'll be able to give you a shout out. And of course, not just us, we have our panelists with us. Isn't that right, Dominic?
Yes. Yeah, maybe we can introduce our panelists. Maybe we can start with Robbie Pineda. Hello, Robbie.
Hello everyone, my name is Robbie Pineda and I'm from the local congregation of Oslo, Norway, and I hold the duties of Binhi President here in my local, and I'm also a District Binhi Officer. Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for joining us. So we have our local guests here in Norway, but from our neighboring country in Sweden, we also have one guest with us, and her name is Katja. Hello, are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here with you. My name is Katja Heiskanen from the congregation of Lund, Sweden, here in Northern Europe. And I have my duties in the choir, secretary, and also in the district CFO. Thank you.
Once again, thank you for joining. And also, let's go on to our another panelist, Jenny Hermedes from Austria.
Hi everyone, I'm Jenny Hermedes from the local of Vienna Center, and I have my duties as an organist and as a CFO officer.
Thank you so much for joining us from Austria. Let's go all the way to Croatia, and we have another guest there. Hello, can you introduce yourself?
Hello to all of you. I'm Wilson Rodelas here in Zagreb, Croatia, as a choir member, Moklud member.
Diane, thank you so much for joining us. Wilson, And all our panelists are here to join us with our topic discussion. Again, our topic is springtime in Europe. So, Team Live Chats, we're going to start our topic discussion now. Please get ready to type in your answers for our topic discussion. So, we're going to start things off a bit lighter, on the lighter side. We have an easy question here, or difficult, perhaps, depending on the country where you live. It might be hard to answer that. But I'm wondering, what's the first sign of spring you notice where you live, right? So we're here in Norway. I want to ask our local Norwegian here with us. Let's first ask Roby. What's the first sign of spring you notice where you live, Roby?
Yeah, so the first sign of spring I notice is that the days gets longer with more sunlight. It also starts to get warmer, which I really appreciate after the cold winter weather.
Right. So the days get longer. Why is that? Well, because in winter here in Norway, the days are so much shorter.
So much shorter. You wake up, it's still dark, and then you come back from work, already dark. So
There are those days, especially in December, at the peak of winter here in Norway. That's when it's really, really dark when you wake up, and then when you get home from work, it's the same. So you won't really see the sunlight. So that's a positive sign of noticing spring. The days get longer, as Roby mentioned. How about you? For you, what is the first sign you notice when spring arrives, Dominic?
For me, it's allergies. Because recently, actually just 3 years ago, I noticed some sickness in the morning, especially dry throat. Yeah, very very red eyes or something.
Yeah.
And I thought that's influenza, but then I visited my doctor and it was pollen allergy. So that's the first sign of spring for me, which is not really good. It's not a good welcome. So
Yeah, and I noticed that too. In fact, actually, our window is open now, and already now I feel like sneezing because of the pollen
not on the mic.
allergy. But don't worry, I'll contain myself. I won't sneeze at the microphone, so we won't hear any popping sounds there. But yeah, I see so many comments already, and they're asking. One is asking, "What is spring like in Gothenburg?" uh, and then we have one is commenting. His name is, the comment just skipped past, but he was asking, what is spring like in Gothenburg? Yeah, John Demin is asking, what is the spring like in Gothenburg, Sweden? I can't answer that, but we have someone from Sweden very close to Gothenburg, or we have Katja with us. So perhaps you can answer that, Katja. What is the first thing that you notice? First sign of spring you notice where you live, Katja?
So I live in Lund, which is the southern part of Sweden. So that's approximately 4 hours away from Gothenburg. So I'm assuming it's not exactly the same. So I think the weather in Gothenburg might be a bit closer to how it is in Oslo, but I don't know. But for here, what I notice when it becomes spring are the flowers. So specifically here in Lund, we get these flowers called blåsippa, and also daffodils. So if you're in Lund and you take the bus, you'll see them legit everywhere, like in the most random spots, just like a whole pile, randomly, just under trees, in the by the bushes. Very randomly. And when we were younger in elementary school, we actually learned this song, and it was about different flowers that you'd see in the spring. So when you see them, that means that, so then you know that it's spring. And also you'll notice that there are people, as soon as it hits 5 degrees Celsius or 10 degrees Celsius, they'll get rid of their jackets. They'll sit outside in the city just sunbathing, even if it's just 5 degrees, 10 degrees.
5 degrees. 5 degrees is too cold. So,
but there's the same thing here in Norway, right? It's people tend to notice that Norwegians really, they get so excited about spring that even when it's still cold technically, but they see that it's summer, the snow is starting to melt.
They jog with their shorts. So
yeah,
with a little bit of snow left.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's a great observation there, Katja. And yeah, you're right. Lund is 4 hours away from Gothenburg. Oslo is technically 3 hours, so we might actually be closer to to answering that that question.
hmm.
Um, but John Demin, the one who asked, he also commented. He said, "Spring is often symbolized by new beginnings, the resurgence of nature, warmer weather, and blooming flowers being key indicators."
Yeah,
Right.
just as Katja said,
Just as Katja
the
mentioned,
daffodils
daffodils
blooming.
and the what's the other? How do you pronounce that, Katja?
Blå.
Blåsippa.
Sipa.
Blå sippa. There we go. So we know a bit of Scandinavia. How about going more to the central part of Europe? How about Jenny? What's the first sign of spring you notice where you live in Austria?
Yeah, here it is actually more about the birds that return when they migrate or when they just return from the trees and stuff. So they start singing every morning because it gets warm, they are outside, and then you just wake up to hear them singing. So yeah.
Yeah. What do they sing? I'm just kidding. Yeah. I haven't noticed any bird singing here in Norway, actually.
The Austrian birds are more musical than the
Yeah,
Norwegian birds.
of course. Historically, they are more musical, of course.
Yeah. So even amongst the birds, they sing. So, wow, that's a unique thing to notice
Yeah.
as a first sign of spring. But that's also for me that that would be a nice like indication of spring because like for me
Yeah.
and Dominic as well, it's the allergy, it's the pollen allergy. But for you, it's the birds singing.
Singing in the morning is much better, of course.
Yeah, but well, that's a fun fact. Thank you for sharing that. And perhaps we have other countries whose birds start to sing as well during spring. If you know any countries, please put it in the comment section. So, how about there in Croatia, Wilson? What's the first time of spring you notice where you live in Croatia?
Yeah, in my new place, I noticed big rain before after that rain. I feel cold weather. Then after tomorrow, a bright sunlight. Yeah.
Yeah, so the sun, right?
Mm.
It and as Roby mentioned as well, it stays longer. I think that's a very common thing here in Europe. Um, the longer you get through spring, and then even to the point where it's summer, that's when the sun really stays there for long. So thanks for sharing that with us, Wilson. We have more comments from Zaya. Spring is the best time to visit Budapest, that's in Hungary, as the city is adorned with cherry blossom trees. Wow,
Have you
that's
been Budapest?
I haven't been there yet, but I hope to see there, especially the cherry blossom trees. I don't think I've seen any
Yeah.
cherry blossoms here in Norway.
No.
I don't think we have.
Maybe we
We-
just don't go out.
or they might be indoors because like I don't think our climate really makes it like easy
Yeah.
for gardeners to plant cherry blossom, but I don't know for sure. You'd
No.
have to ask an expert in that. I'm the opposite of an expert when it comes to plants and flowers.
I just see flowers and I say, "Oh, it's beautiful."
Yeah, I don't know the different types of I know like rose, lily, tulips, sunflower, my favorite sunflower. But yeah, nothing more than that. Oh, we have one more comment from Finland. Mix yeah, who I'm saying here in Finland also birds start to come out and sing, squirrels and hares too. Wow, so Finland,
Wow.
another country where the birds sing. So you might have to teach the birds here in Norway to sing as well, so that they can, you know, get in line with the competition. We're lacking behind there. But again, we're coming from winter, right? We're coming from winter, very very cold, and then all of a sudden we get more sun. The snow melts, and you get different scenery. So, my next question is: how does the change in weather affect your energy or mindsets? right? So let's go back to Roby.
Yeah, so the change in weather makes me feel more energetic and motivated. The sunshine and fresh air lifts up my mood, making it easier to be productive and enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
what kind of outdoors? What do you enjoy in the outdoors specifically?
So I like playing sports, so basketball.
Yeah,
basketball.
yeah, we play together. So yeah, I can
So
attest to that. That's definitely really fun to play with you. Let's ask also other panelists of the same question. Our sister Jenny. Yes, how does the change in weather affect your energy or mindset?
I totally agree with Robbie. So of course I also have more energy and I have the motivation to do the things I have to do for the day. Because if the weather is great, then my day should also be great by being productive. So I do all the things that I have to do.
yeah, that's a good saying. Like,
Mm.
well, if the weather is great, why shouldn't my day be great? So
Mm.
yeah, I like that. I like that quote. We'll quote you on that, Jenny. So I'll have that. I'll add that to my quote book. How about Katja there in Sweden? How does the change in weather affect your energy or mindset?
For me, I also agree that the sunlight and more light just kind of contributes to a more productive day. Especially, it's kind of hard to sleep when there's so much sun shining into the room. But I don't work very well when it's warm. For me, I feel like when it's warm, I become more sluggish and tired. So, in that sense, I think I become less productive and less energetic.
Oh, so there's like a contrast
Yeah,
contrast there. Like, yeah, we love the sunlight, but sometimes that could make it so that it's too warm
and
uh,
humid.
and humid.
For
Yeah.
some reason, makes you sleepy. Also,
Mm.
maybe for some people, not
Mm.
everyone.
Now, for others, they enjoy like their room being like a sauna type temperature.
Oh no,
But not me.
not me.
I think I've grown too accustomed to Norwegian weather that I've grown to like colder temperatures actually.
Mm.
M- and you kind of
Yeah,
don't have a choice because um
at my house we don't use heaters, even
wow.
even if it's -15 outside. So we just got used to it. We just put on a lot of thick clothes and kumot. It's enough.
Kumot. How was the translation for that? Like a blanket, right?
Blanket.
Blanket. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Mm.
So actually now also when we so warm in the night that I usually just remove the blanket
Mm,
so that I can sleep better.
yeah.
So for me, actually, also like Katja, I'm also not that productive when it gets too hot. I need to be in the perfect operating temperature to be able to be productive.
Mm.
Yeah.
How about Wilson? How does the change in weather, specifically going from winter to spring, how does that affect your mindset or energy?
For me, I am feeling great, energetic, and relaxed. Uh,
Relax.
Yeah, that's another cool word, relax.
Relax lang.
Yeah. So, and I agree because like it actually leads to the next question of our topic. So, Team Live Chat, you're welcome to answer this as well. What's like a small joy you only notice in the springtime? For me, it's the temperature because for me that's the perfect temperature in springtime
Hmm.
because it doesn't get too hot or it doesn't get too cold. Now, with that, like gets to 19 degrees Celsius, 20 maximum 22 degrees Celsius. And for me, that's perfect. And that's the optimal temperature. And you mostly experience that during spring. When
Yeah.
the summer gets way hotter and obviously fall or autumn.
Yeah.
And then,
When you jog, it doesn't get too warm.
yeah.
You don't get too hot. So it's perfect.
What about you, Robbie? What's a small joy that you only notice during springtime?
A small joy I only feel in the springtime is feeling the warmth of the sun hitting my face and body after the cold winter. That brings me so much joy during the springtime.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also it's like, yeah, you kind of notice that change so much more, since it's like the opposite of winter. You kind of feel that during winter, especially here in Norway, in Oslo, like when the snow covers the landscape, everything kind of looks the same.
It's white.
Yeah, it's all filled with snow and ice.
Yeah.
And even when it's sunny, it doesn't really change, because like it's just more light. It's
Mm.
just you see the snow more often. But during spring, different
more
flowers bloom. There's more green, and the scenery just gets so much nicer.
Mm.
Yeah, and you notice that specifically during spring. How about Jenny?
I'll just add to what you just said about the temperature. So it's actually the perfect temperature to not wear thick jackets anymore. So that's basically the struggle, in winter, to always wear so heavy jackets and stuff. So it's easier to walk around and to enjoy the breeze.
Yeah, I don't like also wearing thick jackets. So especially in the winter, it's a hassle to put on, especially if you're late sa bus and you need to run. So it doesn't help when you need to put on a lot of jacket.
That's a very specific problem there, Dominic.
That's every day for me. So, so
Well, we now know that you're almost always late to to
No.
the bus.
just on time.
Just on time,
Just on
but you
time.
have to run.
I have to run.
But that's also something that, like with winter, you really have to regulate your temperature, because again, it gets easy. It's so easy to overheat as well, because when it's cold outside, you tend to plan things out, and you're gonna wear this thick jacket and have a good amount of layering, and
Mm.
suddenly, if you're gonna get late to the bus, you have to run.
And then when you get in the bus and you're very hot and you need
Yeah,
to take it off.
yeah, you overheat, and that's a problem you'll have to you don't get during spring. uh, is the point, right?
Mm.
But how about Katya? Do you have any like small joy that they only notice in springtime?
Yes. So one thing that I only get the springtime, I think it was mentioned earlier already, the cherry blossoms. So I don't know if there are any cherry blossoms here in Lund where I live, but southern Sweden is very close to Denmark. And actually just like 5 to 10 minutes away from the chapel of the local congregation of Copenhagen, there is a cherry blossom park. So whenever you go to visit Copenhagen and you go attend worship service, then the cherry blossom park, which is just 5 to 10 minutes away, is a perfect go-to spot. So if you're visiting Copenhagen in the spring.
Oh, there we go. So and also we love visiting the chapel there in Copenhagen. So I didn't know that they had cherry blossoms
Yeah.
there in the garden. So
Yeah.
we have to experience it. And Dominic just thought,
People usually visit Japan for especially cherry blossoms. So you just need to visit Copenhagen
Yeah.
to experience that too.
And we actually have a comment from Jonalyn Duria. My small joy during springtime is that sunny weather, but not too cold, not too warm. So the perfect temperature. So yeah, I agree with you,
Yeah.
Jonalyn. And I believe Jonalyn is also from Sweden. Mix Yahuam from Finland saying that blue skies are one of my simple joys. Michelle Hermansson, more walks like outdoors, spring flowers, they give her joy. So thank you so much for the comments. Let's also hear from Wilson. What's a small joy you only notice during springtime?
Also, regarding the you speak cherry blossom, we have also here in Sandra. Yeah, the I'm very happy when the springtime is come to taking some photos and videos for sometimes we post it to the reels,
Yeah.
just like that.
Also,
So also there in
Also in
Croatia, in
Croatia,
Zagreb,
yeah,
Croatia.
cherry
So
blossoms.
wow, all
Where's the Norway though?
yeah, I haven't seen it at least. So if there are any Norwegians out there in the comment section, please make sure to confirm
confirm us if we don't
confirm,
have, or if we have
or
cherry
if we
blossoms
have.
in
And if
Norway.
we do, we'd have to take a road trip
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
Dominic.
We need to.
I love seeing like cherry blossoms, like only the pictures, and you even saw it in the thumbnail of our broadcast tonight,
Mm.
right? It's a picture of the cherry blossoms. It's such a nice scenery, and it's a nice kind of way to show that yep, it is springtime. So
Saying hello.
yeah, so
Saying
the cherry
hello.
blossom saying hello.
I've arrived.
But with that said, what do you enjoy most about spring in your area? So let's go back to our local Norwegian here, Roby. What do you enjoy most about spring where you live?
So what I enjoy most about spring where I live is being able to move around more freely. So as Dominic said, I also don't like to wear thick jackets. So being able to move more freely is what I enjoy about spring.
Yeah, the freedom of movement, not being restricted by too thick clothes.
Yes.
So yeah, um, yeah, and I agree with that as well.
Mm.
How about for Jenny there in Austria? What's what do you enjoy most about spring where you live?
I would say actually sightseeing because there are a lot of things you can see in Austria, and it's the perfect weather to just walk around and to be a tourist for a day and just see all those things, you know?
Yeah, well, and I know like Austria, you have so many like historical
Yeah.
places. So during springtime, where the weather is perfect, the temperature is perfect for me at least.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a good strategy if you're a tourist and you're really into seeing the different popular tourist spots,
Yeah.
especially in Austria. Then spring might be the perfect time, right,
Have you been
Dominic?
in Austria?
I haven't, but I've seen many pictures and videos, and I
Yeah.
hope to go there
I'm trying to
someday.
recall because I think I have been, but I don't remember.
You
So
might have been too young to
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
back in the
So
day.
definitely I need to come back. So
Yeah, to refresh your memory.
yeah.
Perhaps you realize, oh yeah, I've been here.
Yeah, 동아리안. Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
How about Katya? What do you enjoy most about spring in your area?
So what I enjoy most about the spring in my area is also the flowers and just the nature in general. So here in Sweden, our nature is, I'd say, very well preserved, because I think we have this thing called fridlysta blommor, which is basically flowers that you're not allowed to take, or kind of you're forbidden to uh, kind of destroy or just pick out. So there's a specific list of flowers that you're not allowed to take. What I mentioned earlier, the blåsippor, that's one of the flowers that you're actually not allowed to pick and destroy. So if you're visiting Sweden, especially during the springtime, especially if you're going to do activities where you're, for example, hiking, you're in nature, you're going to go to the forest, it's very important that you kind of keep track of what those flowers are, so you don't do anything bad in the nature.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned. Can you repeat the word again? It's
Fridlysta blommor.
Fridlysa. It sounds like Fredet here in Norway.
Oh
Like
yeah, okay.
we also have that rule actually.
Fredet.
We have some plants that are Fredet. So the literal translation is made peace.
Mm.
Fredet, made peace. So you've made peace with that flower. You can't pick it up or alter it in any way.
Mm,
So you're supposed to preserve it actually. And we actually have a list of that as well. And it's very great that you pointed that out, Katja. So
mm.
for those tourists that are interested in visiting Sweden and even Norway, there are actually a list of plants that you're not able to just pick up
Mm.
because they are supposed to be preserved and not touched by anything. You're not supposed to destroy it, or even if you pick it up and place
That-
it in your own flower pot, that's also not allowed. It's supposed to be fully natural,
Yeah.
so in touch with nature. So that's a great info that you gave out there, Katja. Thank you so much for that. So for the tourist, and you now know there's additional rules in the Norwegian and Swedish law. How about Wilson? What do you enjoy most about spring in your area?
In my area, I enjoy most in the spring is when I looking for the, you say, same Katia, we have more flowers here, and you can see the different colors, big and small. Then also the trees have flowers also. So we amazed all that kind of trees we notice in our country.
Yeah, and it's like and it's so nice to see that there are such big variations as well, right? The same trees and plants you'd see in Norway will be completely different or might not even exist there in Zagreb, Croatia. So I know a lot of people, even like photographers. There are a whole list of photographers dedicated only to taking photos of nature, like nature photography, um, seeing the different species of animals and also plants and trees, just enjoying God's beautiful creations, right? And what better way to see it than during spring when they start blooming again, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've talked about one of the simple joys, things we enjoy during spring. But how about the activities? Favorite activities specifically. So, Roby, what are your favorite activities during springtime?
Yeah, so my favorite springtime activities are playing sports. So for example, basketball and football, and as well as biking with my friends. Since the weather is good, it's more fun to play sports, and everything feels easier without snow getting in the way.
Yeah, and I agree.
Basketball.
Basketball and football,
Football?
football as well. I see we have a football field.
Yeah.
Um, for the Americans, that's what you would call soccer.
Yeah.
Football fields. We have a football field just outside my neighborhood, and already when it's transitioning to spring, like snow hasn't fully melted yet. We already see the athletes. They're already shoveling away the snow and
Yeah.
already trying to prepare. So we can see that. So the enthusiasm there in that sport, they really do make a way to to make it
Yeah.
available for them.
What about Jenny? What are your favorite springtime activities?
For me, as in parts of exercise, I also like walking and running more. But it's actually mostly just about being outside and just enjoying the fresh air and stuff. But most especially also being outside with family and friends, just to go shopping, just to go sightseeing, as said earlier, or just spend time together.
And grill.
Yeah, barbecue. You mentioned
Barbecue.
barbecue. Wow.
Yeah, actually in our neighborhood, we went past our neighbor yesterday. We smelled the barbecue. So that's also one of the first signs, that spring or summer is coming. Is
Yeah,
when people starts to grill.
walking around the neighborhood, and then somehow this time it just smells nicer.
That's good. Makes you
Um,
hungry.
so we have comments from other brethren as well. Rona Balbin from Oslo East, Norway. Shout out to Oslo East. Says that I love it when it becomes warmer and easier to move around, allowing us to rediscover our parks and forests and witness nature come to bloom again. And we also have from Selina Bolander, also she's from Sweden. She's saying, "Good evening, Paul, to our brethren. Tune in tonight on INCRadio. I'm excited for spring. I love spring, except the part where I get pollen allergy."
Hey.
Same for us
Yeah.
as well.
Same.
Alma from Finland saying that in this from Espoo, Finland, saying that in this season we can expect warmer temperatures and vibrant blossoms as nature emerges. Right. So thank you so much for joining our topic discussion, everyone. I love hearing your inputs, especially team live chat. So let's also ask Katja, what are your favorite springtime activities?
For me, I think it was read in the like one of the comments, but just trying new activities. I think it's a really good way to start new things because spring, it represents new beginnings. So I think it's a really good time to start things. So even if you haven't started like your New Year goals, the spring is a perfect time to start it. So for example, going to the gym, learning how to drive a car. Last year, this spring, I actually learned how to ride a bike. Shout out to Monica Seri, who taught me how to ride a bike. During the springtime, it was perfect. I think it's because during springtime, everyone is in a better mood because of the weather and stuff like that. So everyone's just more patient, everyone's more relaxed. And I think it's just a perfect time to start new things.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned that, like, it's a core memory, right? Like how Monica, shout out to Monica, taught you to ride a bike, and it happened to be during springtime.
Mm.
And I think you're into something there, that during spring people are generally happier, especially here in the Nordics, because you can get to like -25, -30 degrees Celsius. So going from that to sunny weather, and the snow is melting, flowers are blooming, it gives you that really positive energy, right?
Mm.
And as you said, that's the perfect time to start new things if you haven't started yet. Your New Year
Year's
goals, New
resolution.
Year's resolution, if you haven't started it,
It's never
now's the
too late.
time. It's never
Even
too
though
late.
it's late, but it's never too
It's
late
never
to
too
start.
late. Starting something is better than not
to-
starting at all.
Yes.
And you never know what you might discover. Perhaps you might find a new hobby. And I found a lot of my new hobbies during springtime, actually, because again, Katja mentioned there's just something about spring that makes you
Mm.
want to try out new things. Finn Hemedes wrote that spring is also the perfect time to bond with my family outdoors, right? Outdoors. Um,
What about Wilson? Also the same question. What are your favorite springtime activities?
Of course, for me, just a long walk to see the good ambience of nature. And also, I like to play basketball. Yes.
yeah, same for us as well.
Yeah.
Basketball, um, it's
Or
something that,
volleyball.
or volleyball,
Recently.
volleyball. That's something that we recently picked up as well. So
Yeah.
any sports activities, it's perfect time during spring. Again, it's also with the temperature, right? It's not too hot, not too cold. It's the perfect temperature to try doing different sports activities outdoors. Now, lastly, we are rounding up, but we have one final question to all our guests. What are your favorite CFO, Christian Family Organizations, activities
We can start with
during spring?
Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wilson, what are your favorite CFO activities during spring?
We have when the springs come, we have community cleaning services. Then we have a Kasubu drive, and also I like the Unity games.
Yeah, and I love that you mentioned like the community cleaning, right? It's
Clean
just
up
the
drive.
perfect time. It's the perfect time because during winter, especially if you have snow there,
Mhm.
a lot of things get frozen and it'll be covered in snow. So when it melts, you'll see that there are many like
Kalat.
kalat or like a lot of trash that needs to be cleaned up. And we're thankful for the church administration for allowing us to have those activities where we can help the
The
community
community.
clean up. So how about Jenny? What are your favorite activities, CFO activities during spring?
I actually also like the Unity games, but also next to that, I like nature walks just to look at the blooming flowers and have a change of scenery for once in a while.
What sport do you play in Unity games, sister? Or
Yeah.
Jenny?
But what did you say?
What sport do you play in Unity games?
Oh, it depends. I actually like badminton most. So yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the badminton players out there.
Mhm.
You might face Jenny as an opponent during Unity games. How about Katya? What are your favorite CFO activities during spring?
For me, I think my favorite activity is like the Gulayan sa Bakuran. So we actually started that during the pandemic. So the springtime during the pandemic, since we were all at home, the activity was so there was an activity that launched at the time. So we then started that, and we've continued that ever since. So every single year, we conduct this activity in our congregation, especially towards the end of the year to then show what we've grown than during the spring. So now during the springtime is when we start to replant, we start to prepare for the next harvest. And it's a great activity for the entire family. Even though it's mostly my mom that does the work, it's an activity for the entire family because we get to reap from the harvest.
Yeah, and also it's that anticipation, that it makes spring even more memorable because that during spring we had this activity, we planted the activities, and it makes you excited for the future, right? So that's such a nice activity. So you'll update us, right, on how it goes when it's time to.
How long does it take to like from planting to eating? how, how long
Well,
does it take?
It depends. I'm not the expert, but I know it depends on like what exactly you're growing. For example, our grapes, even though it was planted like several years ago, it was only like 2 years ago it started to actually get the bunga, or like the fruit. So it could take several years. Some takes
So you
just-
need to be patient.
yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah, it tests your patience, for sure. And lastly, Roby, do you have any favorite CFO activities during spring?
Yeah, so I also like the Unity games, So seeing my fellow brethren and competing in sports with them is something I truly look forward to, and it's definitely my favorite CFO activity.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Unity games, it's really a favorite activity of many brethren here in the church, and Roby is included in that list. Now, and we have talked about so many things about spring here in Europe specifically. Now, we are coming to an end with our topic discussion, but we would like to introduce our next segment. It's called Let's Learn Norwegian. Again, we will teach some Norwegian words related to spring. So let's all let's listen to Let's Learn Norwegian. Welcome back to Let's Learn Norwegian. The topic for this broadcast is about spring. So with that, we're going to be translating some common Norwegian words related to spring. La oss gå, let's go. Can you guess what our first word is? That's right, it's spring. What is spring in Norwegian? Norwegian, that is vår. Vår. Our next word is flowers. What is flowers in Norwegian? In Norwegian, that is blomster. Blomster. Our next word is blossom. In Norwegian, that is blomstring. Blomstring. After winter, we're now experiencing more sunshine. What is sunshine in Norwegian? That is solskinn. Solskinn. Next up is breeze. In Norwegian, it is very similar. It is bris. Bris. Now, when I think of spring, I think of fresh air. What is that in Norwegian? Fresh air in Norwegian is frisk luft. Frisk luft. Next word is green. Green in Norwegian is grønn. Grønn. Next word, warmth. Warmth in Norwegian is varme. Varme. Next up is light. What is light in Norwegian? That is lys. Lys. Last but not least, joy. What is joy in Norwegian? In Norwegian, that is glede. Glede. So those are the Norwegian words for our topic spring, and we hope to see you again next time on Let's Learn Norwegian. Ha det godt, vi ses igjen. We'll see you next time. All right, so hopefully you all learned some Norwegian there. Those were Norwegian words, common Norwegian words related to the topic of spring. Now, before we hear back from our guests again, we have some activity reports, various Christian family organizations activities in the Church of Christ held in the ecclesiastical district of Northern Europe. So first off, I want to report the activity we had in Helsinki, Finland, and it's called Future Career Dress Up for the CWS, or the Children's Worship Service. So I have some photos to showcase there as well. So the young brethren from the local congregation of Helsinki, Finland, District of Northern Europe, gathered together for the CWS Future Career activity. Dressed to impress, the young members donned the garb of their chosen professions, with doctors, nurses, and police officers as just some of the careers on display. This experience was a great opportunity for the families to bond and for the children to learn more about different careers they could have when they grow up. And through this, they were able to grow closer to one another and will always remain in unity with all the projects of the church administration. We see it there in the picture, right, Dominic? We see that looks like a surgeon. We have a police officer in the back. So that's
Yeah, yeah.
such a fun activity. And there you see them interviewing the children. So it's such a nice activity. So we would like to shout out the church administration for allowing us to have activities like these. Another unique activity we have coming up, Dominic.
Yes, also from actually from all
All con-
all congregations.
yeah, this is a district level
District
activity.
level activity. So it's a physical fitness activity held on March 2025. Brethren from various congregations across the District of Northern Europe actively participated in a physical fitness activity. In a video-led workout session aimed to promoting health and well-being, the brethren participated in a structured routine that began with light stretching and progressed to a series of fat-burning exercises to build strength and endurance. This activity helped them appreciate that maintaining physical fitness and health enables them to better fulfill their church duties. Just as we can see,
You see them outdoors as
in
well
the
because it's
pictures.
spring now.
Exactly. Also indoors also.
And also indoors as well, because some countries it might be still too cold, right?
Yeah.
Like here in Norway, it was a bit cold last week actually. So those are some nice activities. We have one more we want to showcase. This one is also very cool. In Steyr, Austria. So the local congregation of Steyr, Austria, District of Northern Europe, eagerly participated in the INC Giving cleanup drive. With smiles on their faces and a spirit of teamwork, the brethren, along with their families, took part in cleaning their surroundings, learning the value of responsibility and caring for the environment. This meaningful activity not only helped keep their community clean, but also strengthened the bond among the members. Through their unity and active participation, they continued to show their dedication to the church and their commitment to being responsible stewards of God's creation. And we also discussed this earlier on with Wilson. One of his favorite activities as well is those cleanup
Cleanup
drives, and it's perfect during spring. Again, you see, look at all the brethren there with their smiles on their faces, and not only they bond through the activity, but they're also helping up the community, right? Cleaning up the community, and that's just one of the many things that we do, that we help out the communities as we follow all the teachings written in the Bible. And one of them is to help our neighbors, to love our neighbors, and a great way to show that appreciation is to help clean up the community. So we're also grateful for the church administration for those many various unique activities that are being held in the Church of Christ. So for all the viewers and listeners, perhaps those who might not be who might not be members of the church yet, you might be wondering, you might have questions. And we have different sites like incmedia.org, and you can also check out the nearest congregation where you live. Perhaps you can check out that. You may contact the members there and know more about the Church of Christ. So yeah, it's been such a fun broadcast, and unfortunately we're running short on time. But before that, we would like to give our panelists an opportunity to give their shout outs. We thank you so much for joining us for topic discussion, and the team live chat. They were so active.
Yeah.
They were so active
A
tonight.
lot of comments all the time actually.
All the time. So let's first go back to Roby. Do you have any shout outs, Roby?
Yes, so I would first love to shout out my family here in Norway. So my mom and dad, my siblings, Sir Vic and Isla, and also my friends and relatives in the Philippines. Shout out to my friends, Lucas, Jaden, and David. Hopefully you guys are doing well. At last, shout out to our district officers along with our CFO overseer in our district, Ka Oliver Nugget, and our district minister, Ka Visar Balsita. Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for joining us, Robbie. Any shout outs for you, Jenny?
I also want to shout out my family here who is watching right now, and to my family in the Philippines, to my family and to Pasano family. Shout out to the local Alpina Center and to all our viewers tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jenny. How about you, Katya? Do you have any shout outs?
So I also want to shout out my parents, my siblings, my ate who's supporting right now, and my big brother who's studying in the Philippines. He's also watching. To all the brethren here in Lund, and also of course to Moas Mase, and of course to Andre Palarasio. Shout out to you, and of course to Dominic. Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you so much for joining us, Katya. Shout out to you as well. And we have Wilson. He's raising his hands already. He's very excited to give his shout outs.
I'm sorry, I just finished.
okay.
Shout out po, a shout out to James San Bautista, to his family, to my church officers here in Zagreb, Croatia. Of course, to my family, Danica J. Santos, my daughter, Juliana Diz, and David Wesley, and to my mom, Maria Maring Budelas, and to our district, Bizarre Balsita, and second district, Kajek Edic po. Thank you
And
po.
thank you so much, Wilson. It's been an honor. And hopefully we'll see more of you as well. This is your first time, and I'm sure this will not be your last time joining us as well.
Thank you po.
And so I just want to shout out all the viewers and listeners who tune in, and a special shout outs to all the viewers who commented and join our topic discussion. It's so fun to have you with us as well. And also to our panelists, and thank you to our technicians in the Philippines, Kuya Pong, Kuya Irene. It's 3 a.m. and well, now it's 4 a.m. if soon. So thank you for always staying up so late to help us on INCRadio. And huge shout out to our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, for having INC programs such as this, INCRadio programs such as this, and to Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo, our CEBSI president and CEO, and who's also our CFO coordinator, and to Brother Montreville Boy, our INC Media Productions section chief, Brother Wally Taray, our INCRadio subsection chief, and to Atides Asenas, our executive producer, who's always with us here as well on the broadcast. You might not see her, but she's here with us as well, all the way from Hawaii.
And also thank you to Brother Visar Balsita, our district supervising minister. Also thank you to Brother Oliver Nugget, our district CFO overseer.
And any personal
shout out to my wife, Clarissa May Palerasio, also to my family here in Norway, also in the Philippines. Shout out to Salazar family. Shout out to my co-host. Yeah.
your cousin.
My cousin.
And shout out to all my cousins. And shout out to my sister, my brother-in-law, who's all the way in Uganda. And yeah, shout out to my dad and our Palerasio family, to Dominic, my cousin, and my and all my other cousins.
Yeah, shout out to Zai.
Shout out to Zai, my nephew. So and everyone. Again, you can keep tuning in to INCRadio Northern Europe Satellite Studio every Sundays at 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. CEST, Central European Summer Time, which is equivalent to Monday, 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. Philippine time. So once again, this has been INCRadio Northern Europe Satellite Studio. We hope to see you again next week. So have a good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. And we'll see you next week.
or be sleeping. Let nothing change.